Errol Flynn, the tragic real-life story and secrets. Flynn became a figure almost on par with gods during the late 1930s and early 1940s when he was Hollywood's most popular box office draw. He was more than just a movie star during this time. The general public adored his charming, vivacious, and glamorous portrayal in Hollywood, and his real-world persona was just as alluring. He had an exciting life that was constantly punctuated by the presence of a stunning woman by his side. Too good to be true, right? Well, there is more to the story. What happened? Let's take a look into how his life became a tragedy. Australian-born Hollywood movie star Errol Flynn rose to fame both for his opulent and colorful personal life and for his work in movies. He rose to fame as one of Hollywood's most well-known performers thanks to his charisma, good looks, and athleticism, which made him the perfect fit for the swashbuckling parts that would become his specialty. Despite the fact that he passed away more than 50 years ago, one of the most recognizable and evocative names from the golden age of Hollywood continues to be his. The idyllic situation did not continue, though, as Flynn's world began tumbling down around him. Errol Flynn overindulged in drugs and alcohol at precisely the wrong time, which sent him on a long but inevitable path to failure, financial disaster, and eventually death. Errol Leslie Thompson Flynn was born on June 20th, 1909 in Hobart, Tasmania. His full name was Errol Leslie Thompson Flynn, and shortly after he was born, his father was appointed to the position of Professor of Biology at the University of Tasmania. Early on in Flynn's education, he received his education in his hometown of Hobart. However, in 1923, he was sent to Southwest London College, a private boarding school located in South London, England. After 2 years, he went back to Australia and enrolled in the Shore School, which is a private Anglican boarding school in Sydney. However, the school kicked him out for fighting and, according to his own story, for alleged sexual misbehavior with the daughter of the school's laundress. Flynn envisioned himself as an entrepreneur and an adventurer in his late teens. Before he tried acting, he tried a variety of vocations and companies in Tasmania, Australia, and New Guinea, such as gold prospecting, copper mining, ship managing, fishing, and sanitation engineering. He played Fletcher Christian in the Australian movie In the Wake of the Bounty in 1933, but he was still restless, so he went for Britain and spent 6 months acting with the Northampton Repertory Company. He was promptly recruited to America as a contract actor when Warner Brothers scouts were drawn to him by his athletic good looks. Murder at Monte Carlo in 1934, Don't Bet on Blondes, and The Case of the Curious Bride in 1935 were the three modest films in which Flynn made an appearance during his first year and a half of acting. When he was offered the lead role in the new production of the pirate epic Captain Blood in 1935, after Robert Donat had rejected the job, he had an unbelievable stroke of luck. He was still an unknown, untried actor. Flynn unexpectedly found himself the new reigning star of Hollywood adventure movies, the obvious heir to Douglas Fairbanks, after the film and its unknown star became a box office hit. Flynn had discovered his niche, and he went on to establish himself as Hollywood's top swashbuckler, winning acclaim for his performances as a British officer in 1936's The Charge of the Light Brigade, a World War I pilot in 1938's The Dawn Patrol, a legendary outlaw in 1938's The Adventures of Robin Hood, and a ship's captain in 1940's The Seahawk. With Olivia de Havilland, whose cool demeanor was the perfect counterpoint to Flynn's high-energy acting style, he performed in a total of 8 films. After playing boxer Jim Corbett in the well-received film Gentleman Jim in the early 1940s, Flynn appeared to have the world at his feet. Despite being wealthy, well-known, and single after just divorcing his first wife, Lily Damita, there were storm clouds in the distance. He was well known for his propensity for womanizing, binge drinking, and brawling. His reputation was going to be damaged. The Los Angeles County District Attorney's Office charged Flynn with 3 counts of statutory rape in November 1942, which refers to having intercourse with girls who were under the age of 18. The accusations were made against Flynn in relation to 2 girls, Betty Hansen and Peggy LaRue Satterley, who said he had seduced them twice, first at a party in Hollywood and once on his yacht. The indictment was serious, and if Flynn had been found guilty, he could have been sentenced to 25 years in prison. However, the trial's admission that Satterley had previously had an affair and an abortion was enough to gain her acquittal. Flynn, though, was profoundly impacted by the event, and his former confidence was never fully restored. The trial started to alter the public's opinion of Flynn, and the entry of America into World War II further altered it. As an American citizen by this time, Flynn attempted to enroll but was turned down by the military due to his poor health. He had a damaged heart and frequent cases of malaria. At a time when young men and women were being slain by the thousands, he continued to live the playboy lifestyle in full view of the public and provoked enormous disapproval. Despite this, his pictures kept doing well, and in the latter years of the war, he appeared in 2 patriotic war films, Raoul Walsh's Objective, Burma in 1945, and Edge of Darkness in 1943. Flynn started to slowly deteriorate physically and mentally as a result of his hedonistic lifestyle. His short-term memory had begun to fail him by the time he played Don Juan in The Adventures of Don Juan in 1949, and his usually self-assured demeanor was beginning to wane. His box office triumphs decreased and his personal financial issues grew worse. He featured in the more promising Agent All Flags also in 1952, after the underwhelming adventure of Captain Fabian in 1951 and Mara Maru in 1952, but it was a temporary improvement. Flynn's debts increased as he was offered less meaningful roles, which made him more resentful and angry. In 1953, he left for Europe to direct The Master of Ballantrae, which again performed poorly at the box office. The final nail in his comeback plans came when he spent almost all his personal wealth on an unsuccessful, never-a-finished attempt to shoot William Tell with Bruce Cabot. Only fragments of the movie still exist. Flynn sailed around for extended periods of time aboard his 120-foot ocean-going boat, the Zaka, while still having fun and drinking. He was overweight, elderly before his time, and essentially unrecognizably different by the middle of the 1950s. He received positive reviews, ironically for his portrayal of a drunk in The Sun Also Rises in 1957, and he published a vivid account of his life in My Wicked, Wicked Ways, his autobiography, which he had originally intended to call In Like Me, a reference to the catchphrase that was frequently used to describe him. Flynn had 3 marriages. The French actress Lily Damita, who was at the time a great figure and a close friend of Jack Warner's wife Anne, served as his first wife. Sean was born to the couple in 1941, and they got divorced in 1942. Nora Eddington, whose father was a captain in the Los Angeles Sheriff's Department, was working at a snack bar near the courthouse when the rape trial was taking place when he first encountered her. Deidre and Rory, their daughters, were born to them after their marriage in August 1943. Flynn married actress Patricia Wymore from 1950 until his death. The couple had 1 daughter, Arnella Roma, after divorcing in 1949. In his last movie, Cuban Rebel Girls, Flynn starred as himself and his last girlfriend, Beverly Adland, who was 17 years old at the time. She and Harry started dating when she was 15 and employed on the Warner Brothers set. A glamorous career came to a sad end because of the film's unfavorable reviews. Their physical deterioration and drinking of Flynn persisted. He reportedly consumed 2 liters of alcohol every day. On October 14, 1959, he passed away in Vancouver, British Columbia, from a heart attack brought on by a wild party. He possessed the body of a 75-year-old guy, according to the autopsy. He was just 50. The legacy of Errol Flynn continues to be a complicated one. In spite of the fact that he was undeniably skilled as an actor and had made an indelible impact on the annals of Hollywood's history, his private life and controversial reputation has eclipsed his accomplishments. His turbulent and frequently sad existence came to an end with his untimely demise, which stunned his legion of devoted followers. Errol Flynn's charisma and on-screen presence continue to attract audiences, making him an enduring character in the history of cinema. This is despite the issues and shortcomings that surround him and have been brought to light in recent years. That's all for today's video, but we'll be right back with more soon. Please don't forget to give this video a thumbs up and subscribe to our channel, and thanks for watching.